Hey there. Have you ever felt like your energy is fading faster than it used to? Maybe you've woken up in the middle of the night, clutching your leg as a sharp cramp twists your calf, leaving you frustrated and wondering why this keeps happening. Or perhaps you've noticed it's getting tougher to keep up with your grandkids in the yard, or even just climb the stairs without that heavy, stiff feeling in your legs. I get it. It can be so discouraging, can't it? That fear of losing your independence, of not being able to enjoy gardening, taking a walk with a friend, or dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. It's real. But here's the good news. A lot of those struggles might be tied to the foods we eat, and with a few simple changes, you can feel stronger, more comfortable, and ready to take on your day again. In this video, we're going to dive into something that could change how you feel on your feet. We'll explore the 6 worst foods that might be quietly draining your leg strength. Foods like sweets, fried goodies, and even some pantry staples, and how they could be behind those pesky cramps and weakness. But don't worry. I'll walk you through why this matters for us seniors and share practical ways to turn things around. Imagine waking up cramp-free, strolling through the park with ease, or playing catch with your grandkids without that tired ache holding you back. That's the kind of freedom we're aiming for, and it starts with understanding what's going on. So, before we get into the details, I'd love to hear from you. Have you been struggling with leg cramps at night, or feeling like your legs aren't as strong as they once were? Maybe you've noticed it after certain meals. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to ask any questions too. I'm here to help. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for the Health for Seniors channel. That way, you won't miss out on more tips to keep you thriving as you age. Let's get started on this journey together to stronger, happier legs. All right, let's dive into the first food that might be sneaking into your life and stealing your leg strength. Those sweet treats we all love, like cookies, ice cream, or a slice of pie after dinner. I know, who doesn't enjoy a little indulgence now and then? Maybe it's a habit from baking with your kids or grandkids, those warm memories that make it hard to resist. But here's the thing, those sugary delights could be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to those nighttime leg cramps that wake you up in a panic. It's frustrating, isn't it, to feel that sharp pain and wonder if you'll ever get a full night's rest again. So, what's going on? Well, all that refined sugar in sweets can spark inflammation in your body, kind of like a slow fire that irritates your muscles. A 2022 study from the Journal of Nutrition found that high sugar intake can bump up inflammation markers by up to 30% in older adults, making your legs more prone to spasms, especially when you're trying to rest. On top of that, those sugar spikes mess with your energy, giving you a quick boost, but then leaving you fatigued, which can weaken your muscles over time. For us seniors, where our bodies are already working harder to stay strong, this can be a big deal. And if you're watching your blood sugar, too much sweetness might even lead to insulin resistance, making it tougher for your muscles to get the nutrients they need. I heard from a viewer named Susan who felt this firsthand. She used to treat herself to a bowl of ice cream every evening after a long day, but those leg cramps started waking her up almost every night, leaving her exhausted and dreading bedtime. After cutting back for just 2 weeks, and swapping in some healthier options, she said her cramps nearly vanished, and she even had energy to join her friends for morning walks again, something she hadn't done in months because of the pain. So, what can you do? Try trading those sweets for naturally sweet choices like fresh strawberries, blueberries, or raspberries. They're low in sugar and packed with antioxidants to fight that inflammation. If you're craving something richer, a small piece of dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa can hit the spot while helping your body too. Or whip up a quick dessert with a handful of berries and a dollop of Greek yogurt. It's creamy, satisfying, and gives your muscles a protein boost. These little swaps aren't just about cutting cramps. They can help you stay mobile, enjoy gardening without stiffness, and keep up with your grandkids with a smile. Now that we've tackled those sweets, let's move on to another culprit that might be frying away your leg strength, those tempting fried foods we all love. Speaking of things we love to eat, fried foods can be so hard to resist, can't they? Whether it's a plate of crispy fried chicken at a family barbecue, a basket of golden French fries at your favorite diner, or even those onion rings you grab at a summer fair, they're comfort food at its finest. But as tasty as they are, they might be playing a big role in those leg cramps and weakness that make everyday tasks like walking your dog or climbing the stairs feel so much harder. I know how disheartening it can be to want to stay active but feel held back by that heavy, achy sensation in your legs. Here's why fried foods can cause trouble. They're often loaded with trans fats and sodium, which can really stir up problems in your body. According to a 2021 study from the American Heart Association, diets high in trans fats, like the kind you find in many fried foods, can increase chronic inflammation in seniors by up to 25%. That inflammation makes your muscles more sensitive and prone to cramping, especially as we age and our muscles naturally change. Plus, all that sodium can dehydrate you, pulling water away from your muscles and throwing off your electrolyte balance. Things like potassium and magnesium that your legs need to relax properly. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, warns that too much sodium can also raise your blood pressure, which reduces circulation to your legs, leaving them tired and crampy over time. I remember a viewer named Robert who shared his story with me. He used to stop by his local diner every Friday for a plate of fried chicken, but he started noticing his leg cramps would flare up later that night, leaving him hobbling around the next morning. After switching to grilled chicken, he told me those cramps stopped, and he even shed a few pounds, which made walking so much easier on his joints. So, what can you do instead? Try baking or grilling to get that same satisfying taste without the harm. For example, bake some chicken breasts with a sprinkle of rosemary or thyme. It's just as delicious but so much better for your body. If you love fries, swap them for oven-baked sweet potato wedges, seasoned with a little olive oil, salt, and paprika for that crispy crunch. Sweet potatoes are rich in potassium, which helps keep those cramps at bay. And here's a tip. When you're eating out, look for grilled or steamed options. Most places have healthier choices if you ask. Cutting back on fried foods isn't just about avoiding pain. It's about boosting your circulation, giving you more energy for those long walks in the park, or even just feeling lighter on your feet while playing with your grandkids. Now, let's talk about something that might catch you by surprise. Those alcoholic drinks that might be sneaking into your evenings. Whether it's a glass of wine with dinner, a beer while watching the game, or a cocktail at a friend's gathering, these drinks can feel like a relaxing part of your routine. But as much as they might help you unwind, they could be making those leg cramps worse, especially if you're waking up at night with that tight, painful feeling in your calves. I know how much you want to sleep through the night without those interruptions. So let's dig into why this might be happening. Alcohol acts as a diuretic, which means it makes your body lose more fluids than you're taking in, leaving you dehydrated. The National Institute on Aging points out that dehydration in seniors can throw off your electrolyte balance, like low potassium and magnesium levels, which are so important for keeping your muscles functioning smoothly. When those levels drop, your muscles can cramp up, especially at night when your body is trying to recover. A 2020 study from the Journal of Gerontology also found that alcohol can disrupt your sleep patterns, cutting down on the quality rest your muscles need to heal, which makes those nocturnal cramps even more likely. Plus, over time, regular drinking can increase inflammation in your body, adding more stress to your legs. I heard from a viewer named Tom who felt this firsthand. He used to enjoy a nightly glass of whiskey to relax after a busy day, but he started noticing more leg cramps and even some weakness that made his morning walks a struggle. After cutting back to just one drink a week and focusing on staying hydrated, he said his cramps reduced significantly, and he felt more rested. He even got back to fishing on weekends, something he loved but hadn't had the energy for in a while. So, what can you do instead? Try a hydrating option, like herbal tea, chamomile, or peppermint, is great for winding down without dehydrating you. If you love the ritual of a drink, make a mocktail with sparkling water, a splash of cranberry juice, and a slice of lemon or lime. It's refreshing and keeps your muscles happy. Another idea is sipping on coconut water, which is packed with potassium to help balance those electrolytes. If you have high blood pressure or are watching your sodium, be mindful of any mixers and stick to simple, natural options. By cutting back on alcohol, you're not just dodging cramps, you're giving your body a chance to stay balanced, which means more energy for hobbies like knitting, fishing, or just spending quality time with your loved ones. Have you ever tried a mocktail? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Speaking of things hiding in your pantry, let's turn our attention to canned foods, those convenient soups, vegetables, and even fruits that seem like a lifesaver when you're short on time or energy to cook from scratch. Maybe you've been heating up a can of green beans or a bowl of tomato soup as a quick side dish, but these could be quietly contributing to those leg cramps that keep you up at night or make gardening feel like a chore. I understand how frustrating it can be to want to stay active, but feel held back by that nagging pain. It's something we all want to avoid, especially as we get older. Here's what's going on with canned goods. Most of them are packed with sodium to keep them fresh, and too much of it can throw your electrolyte balance out of whack. A 2023 report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, noted that high sodium intake can lead to fluid retention and dehydration, both of which ramp up cramp risk for seniors. For example, a single can of soup can have over 800 milligrams of sodium. That's more than a third of the 2,300 milligram daily limit, recommended for us older adults. That excess sodium pulls water out of your muscle cells, leaving them dehydrated and twitchy, while also raising your blood pressure, which can slow circulation to your legs over time. And if you're reaching for canned fruits in sugary syrup, that added sweetness can stir up inflammation, adding to the problem. One of our viewers, Linda, shared how this hit home for her. She used to rely on canned veggies like green beans or corn for quick meals, but she started having leg cramps almost every night. Her doctor pointed out the high sodium in her diet as a likely culprit, and after switching to fresh or frozen vegetables, she noticed a big difference. Her cramps eased up, she felt less bloated, and she had more energy to enjoy evening walks with her husband, something she'd missed out on before. So, what's a better move? Go for fresh or frozen veggies. They're just as easy, but have way less sodium. Frozen options are often flash frozen at peak freshness, keeping their nutrients without preservatives. If you must use canned goods, look for low-sodium versions and rinse them under water to cut the salt. For fruits, pick fresh apples, oranges, or berries instead of syrupy canned ones. Keep a bag of frozen mixed veggies in your freezer for busy days. You can steam them in minutes for a healthy side. Making this switch can help you dodge cramps, reduce that bloated feeling, and keep your legs strong for joining a senior walking group or taking your grandkids to the park without worry. Now, let's talk about those processed meats that might be showing up on your breakfast plate or in your lunchtime sandwich, things like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, or even that pepperoni on your pizza. They can feel like a cozy tradition, maybe a quick sausage and egg sandwich to start your day, or a deli turkey wrap when you're on the go. But these convenient favorites could be contributing to those leg cramps that make it tough to walk your dog in the evening or keep up with your daily routine. I know how discouraging it can be to feel that weakness creeping in, especially when you want to stay independent and active. Here's why processed meats might be the culprit. They're often loaded with sodium and preservatives like nitrates, which can dehydrate your body and mess with your electrolyte balance. A 2023 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets high in processed meats can push sodium levels up to 40% above the recommended daily limit for seniors, leading to fluid retention and muscle spasms. Just 2 slices of bacon can pack over 400 milligrams of sodium, quite a chunk of that 2,300 milligram limit. On top of that, these meats are high in saturated fats, which spark inflammation and can clog your arteries over time, reducing blood flow to your legs and making stiffness and cramps worse. For those of us watching cholesterol, that's another reason to pay attention. A viewer named Carl shared how this played out for him. He used to have a sausage and egg sandwich every morning for years, but he started noticing more leg cramps, especially after his evening dog walks. After switching to a healthier protein source, he said his cramps faded and he felt less sluggish overall, which made those walks with his pup a joy again. So, what can you try instead? Go for lean proteins like grilled chicken breast, turkey, or fish, like salmon. They're lower in sodium and saturated fat, while giving your muscles the protein they need to stay strong. If you love sandwiches, make your own with roasted chicken or turkey breast, seasoned with herbs for flavor. Or explore plant-based options like hummus, black bean patties, or a handful of chickpeas in a salad. These support your heart health too, boosting circulation and cutting cramp risk. If you have high cholesterol, pair these with fiber-rich veggies to keep things balanced. By ditching processed meats, you're giving your legs a fighting chance to stay strong, so you can keep up with activities like playing cards with friends, trying out golf, or just enjoying a pain-free day. Have you tried any plant-based proteins before? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Alright, let's wrap up with the last food that might be tempting you and quietly sapping your leg strength, those industrially made cakes you see at the grocery store or bakery. Think of those cupcakes, pastries, or muffins that catch your eye, maybe a treat you pick up for family gatherings or a quick dessert after dinner. They look so inviting, but they're often packed with refined sugar, trans fats, and artificial additives that can lead to those frustrating leg cramps, keeping you from enjoying a good night's sleep or a walk with your grandkids. I know how much you want to feel your best, and that struggle with weakness can really weigh on your heart. Here's what makes these cakes a concern. That high sugar content can kick off inflammation in your body, irritating your muscles, while the trans fats can slow down circulation, making your legs more likely to seize up. A 2022 report from the World Health Organization showed that trans fats can raise inflammation markers by up to 20% in older adults, adding stress to your system. Plus, many of these cakes hide sodium, sometimes 300 milligrams in a single slice, along with artificial flavors and preservatives that can cause muscle tension over time. Combined with 20 grams of sugar, it's a double hit that leaves your legs feeling tired and crampy, especially if you're already managing blood sugar or joint issues. A viewer named Margaret felt this impact. She used to buy a cake weekly for her grandkids' visits, loving how it brought them together, but she started noticing more leg cramps after those gatherings, leaving her sluggish the next day. After switching to homemade oatmeal cookies sweetened with a touch of honey, her cramps eased up, and she felt lighter on her feet. Her grandkids even loved helping her bake, making it a special moment for them all. Try baking your own treats with natural sweeteners like mashed bananas, applesauce, or a bit of maple syrup, something like banana bread, with whole wheat flour and a sprinkle of cinnamon is naturally sweet and kind to your body. If baking's not your thing, grab a fresh apple with a drizzle of almond butter for a quick, healthy dessert. At a party with cake around, opt for a fruit platter, or just have a small bite paired with water to stay hydrated. Avoiding these store-bought cakes doesn't just cut cramps, it helps your whole body feel better, so you can enjoy family time without worrying about pain the next day. So, we've walked through how sweets, fried foods, alcohol, canned goods, processed meats, and these industrially made cakes can sneak into our lives and make leg cramps worse through inflammation, dehydration, or poor circulation. Small changes like swapping them out can leave you stronger, more mobile, and ready to dance at a wedding, walk your dog without worry, or sleep through the night. I heard from Betty, who used to battle cramps every night after meals with these foods: canned soups, processed meats, and cake. After watching one of our videos, she switched to fresh ingredients, herbal tea, and homemade treats, and within a month, her cramps were nearly gone. She even started taking her grandkids to the park again, something she hadn't done in years. Stories like Betty's remind me how worth it these steps are. They're about giving you the freedom to live your best life at any age. Which of these foods are you going to cut back on first? Maybe you're ready to swap canned soups for fresh veggies, or try a new mocktail recipe. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Health for Seniors channel for more tips to keep you thriving. Here's to strong legs and living your best life, because you deserve to feel your best every single day.